If you have blood in your stool or pooping pure liquid blood, then these are some of the things that could be going on in your intestines, in your gut. I used to have really bad Crohn's disease, and I help people fix their gut issues with my 13-day protocol. I have a free webinar in the bio link that's a mini version of this. So if you have blood in your stool, the darker that blood is, usually that blood is coming from higher up in the digestive system. For example, if it's like dark purple blood, it could be coming from the small intestine. But also know, eating certain foods like beets or Guinness beer or taking activated charcoal could turn your stool black. If this blood starts to appear lighter, then it's probably from the colon. And the more bright red it will be, the closer it is to the rectum. Now, this streaky stool right here, it could come from the opening of a perianal fistula that's bleeding, and as it goes by, it kind of scrapes by and picks up the blood. It could come from an anal fissure or hemorrhoids. So hemorrhoids and fissures, they're caused by a territorial anger conflict or an identity conflict. And when the conflict is active, it's cell loss and opens up and it burns down there. But then when you resolve the conflict, it heals with cell restoration and inflammation, and that can also bleed and itch as well. And if the conflict is constantly on, off, on, off, on, off, someone might have a lot of blood in their stool. And what's causing a perianal fistula and abscess is what is crap I want to get rid of, but I can't separate from this crap. So for a fistula, you kind of have to get surgery for a fistula to go away, especially if it's been there for more than 6 months. Usually I had mine lasered shut and then it came back, I had a perianal fistula, and then I got the Ayurvedic thread treatment and it finally went away. You can also get fissures and hemorrhoids zapped off. And essentially what's happening is the brain, you experience something, like I've seen somebody get hemorrhoids when their wife left them, and their relationship was on, off, on, off. So if he like resolved that conflict, they would stop. And the PTSD triggers, which I show you more on how to do in my 13-day protocol and in my webinar. But you can zap off that tissue and kill that tissue. So when the brain sends a signal, experiences the stimuli, and sends the signal to the rectum surface mucosa to go into overdrive, the signal doesn't go anywhere, it dead ends. And the information I'm sharing with you, it's called GNM, and it comes from a brilliant German doctor. More information in my webinar about it. Now, if somebody is pooping pure blood, they're filling the toilet bowl with blood, usually what's going on is it's some sort of colitis. If it's Crohn's up in the small intestine, it's going to be a dark blood. Even when it's here at the first part of the colon, that can produce a lot of dark blood. What's going on there behind the scenes is, that will cause blood in your stool. Now what's happening with colitis is somebody experienced what is something important to my survival that I cannot absorb, and they're usually like kind of sad and depressed about it. It will develop a flat growth. And usually this happens when you look at your colonoscopy and you don't see a lot of polyps and just like the whole colon is inflamed. These growths help with absorbing this important thing to your survival. Now, when the conflict gets resolved, the body no longer needs these high maintenance cells and it starts to get rid of them. If the conflict was intense enough, then when these cells get removed, there's a lot of blood that shows up in the toilet. When someone gets polyps or these cauliflower growths, the conflict for this is what is crap I couldn't break down and get rid of. And so these secrete extra digestive juices to help you break down that crap. And when the conflict gets resolved, it gets rid of these extra gut cells and the poop will look more like this. Now, I see a lot of people overreact when they have like a little bit of blood in their stool. It's really important to remain calm because the more fear you have can really intensify the symptoms. But if somebody's like filling the toilet bowl full of blood, they're losing a lot of weight, they're looking really pale, and they're anemic, then it would be a good idea to go to the ER, get blood transfusions, and be looked looked at after by a doctor. But these are fixable. You can fix these. And the root cause is the traumatic event that put your gut into overdrive. Most of you guys have already resolved it. Usually these bad symptoms start on the resolution. And what keeps the gut going in and out of overdrive is conflict relapses, but mainly subconscious PTSD triggers. And what my 13-day protocol does is it helps you dig up the, like for example, I was force-fed steamed vegetables. I hated vegetables growing up. And even into adulthood, when I would smell vegetables, I go, I wouldn't even throw a fit. I would just go, ugh, gross. And I would have to run to the bathroom. And until I became consciously aware of that, it stopped. It is PTSD of the colon. It's PTSD of the small intestine. And the exercises on these worksheets, they help release, they help you remember what you're, like half of the treatment for this is just remembering the traumatic event and writing down your PTSD triggers. That is literally more than half the treatment.